Welcome to the Do You Still Like Us podcast. I'm one of your hosts, AJ, and the gentleman sharing my screen and also your earwaves is Damian Gibson. Welcome back.
Hello.
Hello. How are
Hi.
ya? Oi.
I'm good. Uh, we're trying a whole. I have. I'm sorry, AJ. We're doing a whole. Almost every time we've recorded, we've done a different type of recording.
This is our third recording service.
Yes, and prior to that, we recorded in two different studios, and then we've
Mm-hmm.
recorded in my house.
Yes, we have.
So we've literally done three different physical studios, three different virtual studios.
Yes.
And in the end, I've ended up going, fuck it, we'll just do it through Zoom, which I think is how
Yeah.
everybody does remote podcasting.
Yeah. I think so. The
Just a
only
little bit of
complaint.
testing we did then, I was like, oh, fuck, this is like I was just clicking around on some of the things that you could do on your own or with somebody else. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, this is how we've already talked about how like you don't really pay attention to this stuff. Like it's not something that stays in your mind. But when I'm watching YouTube, especially at the moment,
Yeah.
I'm sort of half paying attention to the content, but I'm really paying attention to like what software are they using? And that's an interesting edit point. And why are they arm? Because someone gave me advice the other day of like, make sure it's like if you're doing this is more for the other channel, but like um make sure you're editing fairly consistently because humans get bored looking at the same thing.
Yeah.
So like you probably want like every 30 seconds at least 45 seconds to change the scene. I was like, every 45 seconds? Fuck.
That's a lot of change.
Who the fuck do you think I am? Christopher Nolan? I got a full-time job here, man.
This is on 70 millimeter IMAX actually now.
I mean,
The
listen,
Do
if
You
I
Still
ended
Like
up
Us
directing
podcast.
movies, that's 1000% who I would be. Let's be real.
Of course it is. But what I really like about this is our podcast about being on the spectrum, and
Yes,
you
it
have
is. Sorry.
decided to go like full deep spectrum about it. I feel like it's the most,
It's
it's, it's
it's
the,
very
you can't
meta.
have made it better, honestly.
It's very,
Here are
very
my
meta.
here's my feedback as the person who just shows up and is like, I got things to say. I liked in stream the thing that we used directly before this. I'm not going to promo anyone.
Mm.
I liked that I could tone down the blur. The blur on Zoom is quite
Right.
intensive. And
It
so
is
my
a
head
little
has
intense.
my head has like a perfect kind of circle around it. But we'll figure that out. I think I'm going to put a green screen behind me for our
Oh,
next record.
hello.
What can I say?
Mate.
Also, if you're watching on the tubes of you, I have purple hair now. Well, I have partially purple hair now.
You do. When did
I
this
do.
happen? When did I see you?
Uh,
Thursday. Did you have it then?
I
You didn't
had
have it
I
then.
had purple hair when you saw me
Oh
on
my
Thursday.
God, I'm
Yeah,
such a dude.
I did it about
Oh, I'm
2 days
sorry.
before my birthday, and I think it was a panic I'm turning 32 move. But I actually am kind of into it. I might I might
It
just do the
looks
rest
great.
of it. To
It
be
looks
fair,
great,
thank you.
especially with that top too.
Oh yeah, I got this at when I went to Tasmania for the hockey, I got this at a like a Vinnie's, like a thrift shop. I was
Yeah,
like,
it's great.
sick.
I
Love
want to
it.
go to Portland really badly.
Me too. Have you watched Portlandia? We're immediately off
No,
track.
but I feel like I would love it.
I loved it when it was first out, so like the early 2010s. It was great. I would recommend it
I just to completely derail the podcast. I know all this week we
immediately.
were like, okay, so this is what we're going to do. It's going to be
hmm
this long,
We
and we've
came in
got
with a plan.
segments, and we've got blah blah, and
This is, can I say,
immediately thrown out the window.
no, me. I finally, ADHD, I locked in. I've got a Google Chrome tab open on the other side with my like talking points.
Oh, great. Well, I was just going to say,
Yeah,
I
I'm like,
listened,
I'm
all I was
ready.
going to say is I listened to a podcast with Fred Armisen on it this week. Um,
Paulandia.
yes, well, not that podcast. He was on a podcast called CBB FM. So Comedy Bang Bang FM. So essentially,
Okay, like a radio show.
yes. Scott from Comedy Bang Bang. If you don't know, it's an improv comedy thing. It's been going for 20 years. It's an institution. I think Scott is trying to completely monetize the show and is also bored of just that show. So he's like started his own Patreon thing.
Okay.
Um, and characters from Comedy Bang Bang have spun off. There's all these spin-off shows from Comedy Bang Bang now on that network. There's like 10
Okay.
different podcasts. Bobby Monahan from SNL does a Batman podcast called Who Me, where he plays the Batman. Um, it's
The
great.
Batman.
Um,
Batman.
but there's one serious podcast which is called
Mm-hmm.
CBBFM, and Scott just gets famous people.
Oh, Fred Armisen's famous.
Fred Amos, yeah, but he's probably been the most famous person they've had on the show so far.
Okay,
Um,
but he is famous.
he is definitely famous, yes. But other people are like the improv people or they're musicians or um, basically the first half of the show, Scott just presses random on his music catalog, which has got like 400,000 songs in it. And they
Oh,
just
wow.
listen to the song and then talk about it.
Okay,
And
that's
then
fun.
this,
I really like that.
yeah, it's great. And you just learn, I'm discovering a lot of music through it, like a
Yeah.
lot, because I can be a little tunnel vision with music. Um, and then the
No.
second half, the person sort of plays music that's either theirs or
Oh,
that they really like, or and then they sort of talk through it. Either some people will be quite coy and funny about it, other people will be very serious, and it's kind of great. It's like an American version of Desert Island Discs on the BBC, if you
yeah.
know that
Yeah.
at all,
I
but a
I
bit more
personally I
fun.
do know Desert Island Discs and I because I know very little about things. I'm glad that I do.
Yeah, but I love that show. I don't know. I think it's still going. I think it's
Oh
still
yeah.
going.
I think it might be on BBC Two now, like Radio
Yeah,
2.
I used to listen. I was listening to the podcast version for a bit, but I just found it extremely frustrating because they'd play like a 12-second snippet of the song.
Yeah.
And I get why they have to because
That's
copyright
fun.
and blah blah. But fuck, copyright, copy. Good with that.
Copyright. Blah, blah, blah.
I think I just had a stroke.
We're
Copyright
professionals.
laws don't make any fucking sense.
Yeah, I mean, I could get into this character IP copyright is complicated.
But then every AI company on earth. So let me get this right. Rich
hmm
people can do whatever the fuck they want with people's IP,
Yes.
including the Beatles and George Lucas and Disney and whatever the fuck. The most
hmm
notorious people
Yeah.
for like try and put a Beatles song on the internet and see what happens. Like,
Don't
you
try
know
and
what I
put a
mean?
Beatles song over this podcast.
No,
Hey,
no,
nothing.
I'm not that stupid.
Exactly. We got
um,
done for copyright for what, 30 seconds of Beetlejuice,
yeah, yeah,
let alone
Harry
the Beatles.
Belafonte. Like, what the fuck? Who's? Anyway, it was probably the film, to be fair. But yeah, then AI companies can just come in and steal everybody's shit, and it doesn't matter.
They can do whatever they want. Those are the rules. The rules
Yeah,
don't
man.
apply to the AI people.
Yeah, I think things are going to catch up with them over the next couple of years. But anyway, um,
Anyway,
so
welcome
we've
to the Do You
decided.
Still Like Us podcast.
Yes, thank you. Welcome. That's enough ranty stuff out of the way. We, I think we like our podcast. I like our podcast, and I think the last
I like our
episode was good.
podcast.
And we really enjoy talking to each other. But I just felt like the last time I listened to the last episode, I was like, ah, I really like this. And this is kind of exactly, we are following our own brief of like two people on the spectrum chat about being on the spectrum. But I
Yeah.
was a little worried that we will be becoming a bit insular, that like, maybe we're not, um, like I would show up for that podcast, especially if I like the
Yeah.
people. It's just like, a lot of the time I'm like, just want to hear you talk. Don't do segments. Don't have guests. But I think the vast majority of people want to learn something or take something away. So
It's possible.
we kind of had a chat about it during the week, and I was like, well, why don't we have half the podcast where we sort of talk about a spectrum thing. One of us can take that, and then the other one can talk about a special interest. So it's kind of the first half is a bit like the medicine, and then the second half is a bit like the dessert that you get. It's the soft serve ice cream that your mum
Um,
buys you for going to the
well,
dentist.
well, one could say it's like the spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. The
That's
medicine go
great.
down. Medicine go down.
Did you write that?
Yeah, I did.
That's
It's
awesome.
in yeah, it's for a movie that I'm putting together. I'm thinking about calling it Mary Bobbins.
Mary
It's about a
Bobbins.
it's
Yeah.
about a sewist, so she's
Okay.
got bobbins.
Right.
If
That's
you
it. And she
sew,
sings
if you
songs.
sew, yeah, if you sew, that joke hit really well. And if you don't, it didn't. It really didn't.
Good times, great classic hits.
Gold
So
104.3. You're not
the
sponsored.
no, what do they are they still are they still
They're
around?
still
Gold?
on yeah. Do you
Yeah.
know that sorry, super quickly. Bendigo have their own version of gold.
I in our lifetime, I
Hmm.
we're completely off track again. In our lifetime,
Yep.
Geelong's already there. Like
Hmm.
Geelong is a small city.
Hmm.
Geelong is like the same size as like Launceston in Tasmania, or like
Yeah, it's
I
little.
feel like Bendigo, yeah, but it's still like when I was a kid going to Geelong every summer, there was
Exciting,
nothing there.
but exciting.
Oh, I
Beach.
loved it. I
The
genuinely, I loved
beach.
it. I have
Yeah.
a very, I have a huge soft spot for Geelong and the Bellarine Peninsula. Like it's a favorite place of mine. But yeah, there wasn't a lot going on. I mean, there's still not a
No.
lot going on now, but there's like, you can get a coffee in Geelong. You know what I
They
mean? You
have
can,
Monet's in their art gallery at the moment.
yeah, you can go to decent places to eat and have, like it's a proper place.
Yeah. Are you about to say something disparaging about Bendigo because I
No, I
mentioned
just
Geelong?
think that Bendigo and Ballarat will eventually, like in the next 10, 20, 25 years, will become those places as well. Because people are
The
moving there too because it's like
well,
less expensive and
definitely the Rat Ballarat is much better than Bendigo. Bendigo is still very small, but it is definitely bigger. And every time I've been out there a couple of times in the past 6 months, it's quite nice. It's definitely getting bigger.
I always loved playing in Ballarat. Every band I
Yeah.
was in, when we played in Ballarat, it was a fucking rad time. Always.
Okay.
Bendigo, the first time we played there, I got thrown down the stairs of a pub by a security guard. So,
Ooh.
you
Okay.
know,
Not great.
well, he punched our sound engineer
Oh,
because
well,
our
then I mean,
because our
if you
sound
started
engineer.
like a fight in defense of him, then that's fine.
No, no, I was just like, uh, he punched Cal, uh, because
Not
he
your
asked
wife,
Cal.
Cal.
No, no, like Cal Cal. We played and we went to this place. It was like a pokies place. We just wanted to drink beer and we went there. We had no idea. We were from the city. We didn't. We've probably walked into the roughest pub in Bendigo.
Yeah.
You couldn't wear hats in there. Um, and honestly, Cal, our sound engineer, did not hear the security guard say, "Hey, mate, you can't wear fucking hats in here."
Yeah.
He didn't hear him. Like, and I was walking over to go, "Oh, hey, man, take your hat off." And then this guy walked past me, grabbed Cal on the shoulder, and then just punched him in the fucking head.
Oh,
And
no,
then I was like,
absolutely
"Yeah."
not.
I mean, this is Bendigo in 1999.
I was 5.
I was 18.
Aw.
And then I was like, immediately, you can't do that. What are you doing? Da, da. And he literally, like a country west, like a cowboy film.
Yeah.
I got thrown out. He like picked me up by my shirt and belt and was like, whoop.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Well,
So there was always
Bendigo's
something
got a
like
lot
that
of
that
work to
happened
do.
when we were in Bendigo. Always.
It's got a lot of work to
Always.
do to get you back on side.
No, no, I liked it. I liked there's just I mean we had shit that went down in Warrnambool, we had shit that went down in Gold Coast. when you're four long-haired, pretty boys wearing weird clothes and you're walking around together, it causes like you shit happens.
Especially in the late 90s, I feel like now no one's gonna
Maybe not
blink.
as
And
much now, but late 90s, early noughties, like
yeah, it
unless you're
was,
in Sydney or Melbourne, it was always a bit like you had to have your
how
head
you
on a
going?
swivel a bit. Yeah, I mean, it happened at the Bat and Ball Hotel in Sydney. It was literally across the road from the SCG. I mean, there was always shit going on. Like that's dead smack in the middle of Sydney. So like, yeah,
Yeah. Um, Super, before we get into your because today you'll be taking the specky section, I just want to quickly highlight I cannot believe that thanks to my reactions to you, my digital footprint now includes a video of me going like an 18-year-old idiot boy.
what was
Very
this?
unfortunate. I did that while you were telling your story. You were like, you're 18. So I'm doing that, and
Ah,
now
right,
I
right.
just keep doing it. I can't seem to stop doing it.
Yeah, well,
I have
maybe I'll just
so many regrets about doing it the first time. Why did I double down?
I'm just going to clip it and put it on a loop and put it up as a short on YouTube.
It's the world's worst TikTok.
But yeah, so essentially, we want to break the podcast up into two segments. So the first segment is spectrum stuff. We'll just call it that for the time being until
Yeah,
either a viewer or listener reaches out and gives us something better, or we think of something better.
that's
Um,
true. If you do have ideas for what we should call these segments, please tell us.
yeah, either through the comments in YouTube, you can put a comment down below. A few people did on our short this week that I put up,
Hell yeah.
which is nice. We actually got some interaction. So yeah, put it in the comments below. If you don't agree with us or you think something needs to be fact checked or whatever, I mean, we're not experts. So, like,
Oh, absolutely not
if you're
experts.
watching this and going, these two fucking idiots have no idea what they're talking about,
That's
um,
correct.
yeah, you're probably right. So, like, fact
Your
check
good
it.
observation.
Yeah, and then fact check it and then put it in the comments. And, it also drives engagement, which gets us into more people's algorithms. So, it's a win win situation. You get to tell someone off and we get to become rich and famous. The so
I don't care about the famous part. And I don't even think I care about the rich part. I just like the idea of doing a job that makes me feel like I'm speaking to
yeah.
people and communicating with the masses about something important.
Oh man, if you could do this full time, what a
Hmm.
fantastic job. Um,
And I
so
chat for a living as is, so
yeah. um, yeah, let's not talk about work. Um, so the spectrum stuff that I
hmm.
wanted to talk about, I don't really have anything prepared. In future, I'll probably do a bit more research and be a bit more autistic about it. But I just was thinking during the week, because it's been just over a year since I've had the diagnosis. And so you have a lot of time to sort of think about everything. And
Oh yeah.
um, I have always had a problem. I was sort of ruminating on some friendships that don't really exist anymore and
Hmm.
thinking about my part in them and whether the way a lot of things have changed in my life in the last 6 or 7 years. I got sober. I moved out of the inner city. I got my autism
Autism.
diagnosis, and I got
I
married.
like that.
Um, and so my life, like now, my life has
And
changed in oh so
it's
many
like big
ways.
changes.
Um, yeah, but there were some people that were very in my life. Who aren't at all. And some of those just happen naturally. Quite a
Yeah, it
few
does.
people, some of those have happened naturally. Some of them have been conscious decisions, but there's still this guilt that I feel about. I'm still people pleasing in my own subconscious, of
Yeah.
like having anxiety attacks about like, ah, yeah, it's the right thing for me, but then that person might be upset or it might have hurt their feelings. And then it sort of occurred to me that there's a lot of people, um, when you're autistic or ADHD, but I think this probably applies a bit more to people who are autistic. It's
Hmm.
hard to know because you're not as, uh, because you take most things at face value. I'm not buying the thing of like, you're autistic, you don't understand what being a human is. I don't, I completely disagree with that. I reject that.
Yeah.
I think we um, take people at their word. So when someone says,
Oh, for
you're,
sure.
you're my friend, or let's hang out. Like I've seen, there's been heaps, there's so many different versions of this on TikTok, where it's like the autistic experience of the neurotypical person go, yeah, we should get a coffee sometime. And the autistic person go, yeah, let's do it tomorrow. And then the NT person is like, oh, yeah, not tomorrow. Maybe like give me a call in 2 or 3 weeks' time.
Yeah.
And then the autistic person being like, okay, I'll call you on the 18th at 3:30 p.m. Because
Well, I,
rather than the NT person saying, listen, I don't want to be friends with you, or I don't actually want to spend time with you, they do this bullshit of,
hmm
but I think like that could be misconstrued. Like, people could be like, oh, that's just a miscommunication. I think it happens all the time. And in my life, when I look back at a lot of different relationships that I've had, I have misconstrued a lot of work situationships as friendships that weren't.
yeah,
And then I've probably the other way, I've probably I've underestimated sometimes how much people care about me.
yeah,
But I think the big thing that happens with autistic people is they rush. Like people are pretty open. Like, well, I can only talk for myself. I don't want to talk in big, gross generalizations, but from a lot of the stuff that I've seen people talk about on Instagram and TikTok, it seems like this is a pretty universal
well,
experience
what I will
of,
say is it's not, sorry to cut you off,
no, no, it's good.
um, not something I experienced myself, but my wife, Chelsea, who the podcast knows and loves,
Yeah.
who is autistic, she definitely experiences
Wife
that
of the show.
where wife of the show, walking in the background right now, there she goes. Um, she experiences very much if someone says something, she takes it at face value. Very much. So,
Well,
if you
yeah.
say something's happening at this time, this date, she will 100%, okay, cool, I'm locked in. Like I'm locked in, that's what we've said, that's what we've agreed to, that's what's happening. So yeah, no, I see that in her 100%.
Yeah. And, but that can cause problems because you rush in.
Yeah.
I do this a lot. I think because you get rejected a lot because you are weird, because especially if you haven't been undiagnosed, like if you go through 45 years of life not being diagnosed and everyone's like, ah, he's quirky, he's just weird, he's got these weird ways of doing things. You get rejected a lot because a lot of people just like, nah, I don't fuck, I'm not dealing with that. So then when you do get someone coming along that's like, hey man, like, seems like we're vibing here, you immediately you go from naught to 100, or I go from naught to 100 of like, well, we're best friends now and they're going to move in with me. And do you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
We got engaged 3 months after we started dating. I know what you mean. Yeah. Yeah, no, I get that.
Yeah,
For
but I
sure.
think and I don't want to be isolationist about this,
Mm.
but I think it cancels out when you are talking about another person on the spectrum. I've only
Yeah, that's
had
probably
one
true.
situation in my life, and I'm not going to mention anybody of who it is or where it was, blah, blah. One person who is 1000% out as like on the spectrum, blah, blah. And
Hmm
very like early on, the two of us were thick as thieves and were spending a lot of time together. And then they just
Yeah.
Nothing. No.
Thanos. The
Yeah, no
world
contact,
disappeared.
no nothing at all. But every other time that's happened, or any other time there's been, I've misunderstood the situation or whatever, it's always been with someone who's neurotypical. Always.
Yeah.
Um, and I suppose I've just been ruminating on this,
Yeah.
and I suppose the advice that I wanted to give is even if the other person is great and you love them and they're bringing you a lot of joy and you feel safe around them, maybe just get just resource a bit more data. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then you know for sure that the pattern recognition is correct.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we can tell ourselves, oh, I'm a pattern recognition machine, man. I fucking know everything. But this is the
I've never
one,
heard you say that.
well, I mean, a lot of the time I'm correct, but this is a blind spot. It sounds so arrogant. But
No, I
this is a
really like it.
humans are a blind spot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can get what I think will happen with sports teams or wrestling storylines or politics. You know,
Yeah.
like those are the kind of things where there are usually like there's circadian rhythms with them, and you're like, well, this is going to happen because this has happened 15 times previously, and blah, 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 blah. But humans are difficult because, everyone's
Humans
completely different and it depends on
and
the day and what their background is and their head and their heart and blah, blah, blah.
And I think to provide my own commentary, there's this expectation that people who are on the spectrum, especially, I'm not going to say this of people with ADHD. I think people with ADHD, people expect the opposite. But people who are autistic and on the spectrum, there's very much an expectation of, well, you follow this set of rules of who you are as a person. And so it makes it easy to lay you out as a person. And I think that that is absolutely untrue.
Mm,
I think that there are definitely behaviors that I can predict in people that I know who are on the spectrum, but that's because I know you as people and
mm,
also because I'm a little bit of a pattern recognition machine. But I do think there's this expectation that people who are on the spectrum, like, you can lay them out like this and it's super easy and you can follow the guidelines to who these people, like to who people are. And that's not true. And it also means that there's an expectation of how you interact in social situations.
mm. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And I suppose it's those like scripts that get spoken about a lot of like, um, in neurospicy communities of like there's these fucking scripts that all the NTs know off by heart and we don't,
Yeah.
and if you don't do the script, everyone fucking freaks out. Everyone's like, so a perfect example of it, if you're an NT and you're watching this, A, thank you. B, you might not have any fucking idea what we're talking about because this is all a bit sort of specky shorthand. Maybe
Specky
that's what this
shorthand.
segment could be called.
Oh my God, specky
Um,
shorthand. I like it.
uh, so like whenever anyone asks, so you see someone, they go, "G'day, mate, how you going?" And I will go, not great. Kelly only had 4 hours sleep last night, which meant that I didn't really get any sleep either. But I was also had this terrible fucking dream that Evie was in trouble. She was trying to eat poison. I couldn't get out of the house and blah, blah, blah. And the other person's like, fuck, man, just
You like
saying,
they were expecting you to say like, yeah, I'm fine.
which is what you should say, right?
But
I
here's the
mean,
thing, right?
in the world, like society expects you to say, I'm fine. How are you?
Well, here's the thing, right? I have been trained or I mask enough, especially working in a semi-corporate environment and definitely in very corporate environments in the past, where I've been like very well trained of like when the people ask how I am, they expect me to say, I'm good, thanks. How are
Yeah.
you? Nice to see you. Great day. Bye bye. Smile. Things are good. Um, and so I definitely do that when I'm, especially with people I don't know, I will just be like, yeah, I'm good. Good. Yes, good, thank you.
Mm.
But I prefer the more honest. That's why I like when we have our morning chats, when you'll just start talking and I'm like, yes, this is what I want. Give me something real. Give me something to hold on to.
Yeah, you can only do that with someone else on the spectrum. You can't, you know.
I do think that especially in my older age, my like the kind of percentage of friends that I have that are on the spectrum versus the percentage of friends I have who aren't on the spectrum is very much swayed in the spectrum's favor now as well.
Oh,
Which
yeah, 100%. And
I didn't do intentionally, but I'm glad that it's happened.
I think it naturally happens.
Hmm.
And I think the people that I am still friends with, because I see this spoken about, because I'm old, this gets spoken about on every episode. I'm older than you.
You
And I
are.
do worry about this is something that, like, as much as I will play up the grumpy old man that's like, I've got my wife and dogs, I don't give a fuck. I'll just live in my fortress of solitude and I'm happy. It does worry me when I see people around my age or older talking about it's harder to keep friends as a person on the
Yeah.
spectrum because your stuff, whatever it is, for the most part, gets worse, you know?
Yeah.
And so for
We
me, a
talked
lot of
about
that,
this last episode as well.
yeah. So for me, a lot of that is like anxiety or having to have things set and having to have them set a long way out.
Yeah.
And then if there's any changes to it, I fucking melt down. I can't handle it, which is, I mean, it's not conducive to keeping like, you know, keeping friendships. And then the other thing that seems to happen as well that I've like, I mean, completely off topic here, but this is just something that I was actually going to bring up last week and then we just ran out of time. It feel I, as I get older,
Hmm.
most of my friends seem to be growing out of their interests. Did I talk about this last week?
No,
And it's especially with the dudes. There's just a lot of like, I don't like that anymore.
I don't
I'm
get
not
that.
really into that anymore. Which
I don't get
fine,
that.
people grow and you know,
The people change
but
for
I don't
sure.
know if it's being replaced with anything else. But the other thing, which I mean, whatever, that's their life. But it might be the thing that kept you conversational with each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, oh, hey
Oh, for
man, you've
sure.
read any good comic books lately? I don't read comics anymore. Fuck. Well, we've been talking about that since we were 12. So,
Did you
um,
did you bring another conversation piece if you're no
uh,
longer doing the other conversation
well,
piece?
then it just becomes small talk, right? And that drives me crazy. I'm just like, I don't care. I don't
Can
care
I?
what's happening with your car or your garden or like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care where you're putting your superannuation. I don't care. I don't, you know what I mean? The shit that
I
adults should talk about. It's so
well,
fucking dull and boring. Like maybe you'll go to a friend and be like, "Hey man, who do you put your super with? Because the place I'm with is shit and blah blah." Maybe you have that conversation, but you know those small talk conversations of like, "Oh, it's tax time. Got
I
your
do.
yeah."
Can I just say though,
Oh, I kill
if
myself.
anyone who is NT is listening or watching, can you please comment and tell us, do you actually enjoy that small talk? Because I can tell you on the specky side, we're all talking about how we hate it. And so if you guys hate it, why don't we just stop doing it?
Oh, please, fuck, for the love of
Because it
God.
just feels like all anyone ever complains about is, I don't like small talk. So then why do you keep going back to it? Stop. Just
Mm,
stop. You're allowed to stop doing that. You don't have to. Look
yeah.
right into the camera. You don't have to do that. We don't have to do
You
small
don't have
talk.
to do it. I
We
feel
don't.
like it,
There's
but I feel
no
like it also
obligation.
gets worse as you get older. And I think it's
Oh, so
probably
much. As boring.
because you're doing less or there's less. And I also think not to be one of those people who is doing a podcast on the internet complaining about the internet, but I don't think it's the internet's fault, but I think um, society and yes, capitalism have kind of pushed us into our own, we're all living in our little pods, right?
Mm.
And we're eating, we're getting our food delivered to us. All our entertainment comes in through the TV or the laptop. Kai sounds so old. Or the laptop or the TV. But do you know what I mean? Like it
Oh,
is. You
also
like
this little thing.
your phone,
This little
whatever.
thing also, yeah.
Yeah, I forget that you fucking kids, you're always on your fucking phones. Um,
I'm 32. Don't call
nah,
me
you're
a
a kid.
kid.
Mate,
I,
in less than 5 weeks, I turned 47.
what a great age.
47.
What a great age. I'm
Four
thrilled for you.
seven.
Okay, and on that, and the podcast is over. It's been a really fun run. I've really enjoyed making this with you, Damo. It has been
Uh,
great. I've had a really good time. I feel like I've learned so much about myself, about you, about the world at
what do you
large.
mean I got it
Uh,
wrong? What are you talking about? That's what it is. Four
but
seven.
no, no, you see, the podcast is over now. Unsubscribe. It's
Yeah, I'm gonna
done. And I've to,
unsubscribe. I'm unsubscribing from my own podcast. Um,
yeah,
yeah, you don't like you just I don't know if you're doing as much stuff. So even when you do meet up with the safe people or the close people, me personally, I don't have much to offer. You know what I mean? It's like,
that's not true.
no, I have a lot of stuff that I want to talk about. And I feel like I'm relatively entertaining when I talk about it, but it's all
You are.
special interests. It's all
Yeah.
like test cricket, pro wrestling, American politics. Like it's all, and unless you match up with that stuff, alternative music from the last 30 years,
30 years. Expand that out.
yeah, 60s and 70s and 80s. But yeah, uh, 70 years.
Yeah. Add
Movie.
on a few decades
Look, I
there.
could talk to people about movies or whatever, like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like
Yeah.
I can talk about stuff, but getting to that conversation is difficult. And I feel like a lot of people put up a wall around having those conversations because I don't know whether they can't be bothered or they don't want to give their opinion in case it causes a fight or I don't know, but I
No.
see it in a lot of like when I do go and socialize, whether it's within my own friendship circles or especially in other people's friendship circles, when there's more than like two or three people at a table, it just becomes stagnant. It's just very. I still find if you're like one on one or there's like three people at a table, those conversations tend to be really fluid and cool. But yeah, when there's a big group of people at a table, it's fuck, kill me.
Can I offer a an idea as to why this may have happened? And I think in this podcast, this might be the thing that I have said the most often. I blame two things: the pandemic and TikTok. Everyone wants to consume everything within 30 seconds and have it be like speedy turnaround. I don't
Mm,
feel like people have that much that they actually commit to their hobbies anymore. And
yeah.
do actually people actually have hobbies and interests anymore that they consume outside of 30-second increment scroll? And also, everyone forgot how to speak to other people because we got locked inside for 6 years.
Well,
I don't think that helped the
it wasn't
NTs.
6 years. It was like
No, it
two.
wasn't. It was like 6 months.
Yeah.
But okay, we've gone vastly different lengths of time yet again. But we were all locked inside for a hot minute, and I think people did forget how to interact with other people outside of the home.
Yeah.
We've been doing a rewatch of Friends. This comes back around. We've been doing a rewatch of Friends, and obviously, I'm in a long-term relationship. I have a wife, my wife, wife of the show, and
Wife of
so
the
we're
show.
watching people dating in the late 90s, early 2000s, and I can't believe that people used to meet people like that
Yeah.
because in in my day, dating even like in the, you know, early, late 2010s, the 2010s just in general, with I met most people that I dated either online or through mutual friends. I didn't really like meet strangers. And this is all meeting strangers,
Mm.
just like
Uh,
seeing someone and approaching them. You used to have things to talk about with someone that you could walk up to in a coffee shop.
yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, Friends is not a great representation of that because all
Oh
six
no.
of them are the most stunning looking people on the face of the planet. So,
Well, that's yeah,
um,
well, eh,
they're all very
Schwimmer
attractive
could.
people. Maybe the guys not
Schwimmer's
as much, but the three women are fucking stunning. So, like,
oh, without a doubt,
it
yeah.
is hilarious to me at times where they're like, I just can't find a man. And then I would bring that up when I was watching it with Kelly at the beginning of the year. And she's like, no, New York, it can be really hard. And I'm like, not if you're
Jennifer
Jennifer
Aniston does not need to.
Aniston.
Exactly. Jennifer Aniston doesn't need to be single for a single second of her life.
You
That
know what
is
I mean?
like it's like
Yeah,
saying
Courtney Cox is
how
rare, but there's plenty of guys are like, oh, well, she's literally the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. But I've got
yeah, but
other
Damien,
options.
Damien, we're forgetting the big point in the show is that Monica was once fat, which of course makes her
Oh my God.
undateable.
She wasn't even that fat.
I know.
She's not
As
even that
someone,
fat.
as an actual real life fat person, offensive.
Well,
Offensive that we were
yeah,
calling that fat.
you're not fat anymore.
Thank you. I'm just like
No,
Monica.
well, no, no. Well, I don't know how else to say that without being rude.
I have lost some weight. It's true.
Overweight. Sorry, I should have said the word fat, but you said fat, so I said the
Yeah,
same
fat's
word.
fine. I'm fine
Sorry.
with fat.
You've
No,
lost heaps of weight. In the time that we've known each other, you've lost an immense amount of weight.
I have. It's true. We're not here to talk about that.
No, we don't have to talk about it. I'm just saying, you look
No,
great.
it's true. But it is very true of the Monica storyline of people do look at you differently when you're fat compared to when you're thin, and then they do look at you very differently again once they meet you as someone who's thinner. I wouldn't say I'm thin,
Mm,
but thinner, and
yeah.
then they find out what you used to look like. Suddenly it's like the eyes glaze over a little bit, and it's like, oh, okay, that's fine.
Mm,
I
yeah.
like me, and I'm
But
already married anyway, so.
yeah, so mm-mm. I
I don't
was
know if
going to
anyone heard the
say,
AO in the background from wife of the show.
um, I don't know. I don't know how much picking up was going on in just regular places. That was something that was always
Regular.
sort of, well, like, on
Would have
TV
been
shows
dating
and
at that
movies,
time, the
people would
late of the
like,
90s,
yeah, people
late
would
90s,
meet
early
in
2000s.
supermarkets or they'd meet at the doctor's office or that shit never happened. Or not in my
Okay,
life.
how did you meet people that you dated in the late 90s, early
I
2000s?
went to very particular nightclubs. That sounds weird. It's like, wow, I went to dominatrix nightclubs. No,
Okay,
there were
yeah, for
there
sure.
were
No, that works.
two
Yeah.
nightclubs that I went to. One called Collision that was kind of a
Hmm.
goth. uh, I wasn't really a goth, but they played a lot of like indie pop music.
So they were playing the Smiths. Yep, I gotcha.
Yeah, and The Cure and stuff like that. But
Not the Smiths and the
uh,
Cure together.
but a lot of pretty girls went to that club, and so I also would go to that club. But we're into the same shit, so you could talk. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like,
Yeah, I get
um,
you.
and
But
then
that's what I'm saying, right? Special interests have gone out the window. Now nothing is for one thing anymore. There's no
yeah,
like one weird gay bookshop. It's just every bookshop's got a
yes,
pride sticker
exactly.
in the window.
So there was Collision, and then another couple of nightclubs called a Supermarket and Flipside, which were
Oh, you're
Brit
so not
pop.
Brit.
Brit pop. That's it. They only play British indie rock pop. That's it. So if you walked up to a girl, you could be like, "Hey, the new Cooler Shaker album fucking rules, right?" And she would go, "Yeah, it does." Because we were the only 60 people in Melbourne who had bought that album. You know what I
Do you
mean?
want to
Like,
come round to my house and listen to
the Blue
What's the Story
Tones.
Morning Glory on
No, that was too
vinyl?
popular. This was we were like, you know what I mean? Like, uh, have you heard that new band Gay Dad? I'm trying to think of the biggest pulls I can, like the Charlatans, the Blue Tones, Elastica. You know what I mean? Bands that
Right,
no one's
yeah.
ever fucking heard of. Even at the
Including
time, no one,
me.
yeah, of course, because it's 30 years later. But even at the time, there was Oasis and Blur and Pulp. Those three bands everyone knew. Radiohead kind of was that sort of band, but not really. But every time they released a new song, they became less and less a Britpop band.
Yeah.
Supergrass, some people knew, some people didn't. And then every other band
I know a
was,
single Supergrass song.
it was ours. But that's why you went, because you loved the music. And then you knew that everybody who was there was obsessed with that thing. So if there's 120 people in this club, all of us know who me are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
You,
that's
you,
that's
you.
yeah. So is that a better society? I don't know. I mean,
Yes, I think so.
but
I think so. I
also
think
we're
as well,
older, so it's probably still happening. We're just not we don't know about it. You
well,
know what I mean?
that's not true because I have old person interests now and I struggle to connect. Like, I went last weekend to a festival for my interests,
Hmm.
and even then, like, starting conversations with people was still hard. So I think that the
Yeah.
art of conversation has died. I'm going to start letter writing.
Dear Mr. Darcy.
That's
Um,
exactly what I was. Yes, 'tis I, Elizabeth. Mr. Darcy, you've
but
pissed me
anyway,
off. Let's fall in love.
we kind of went off on a tangent there. I suppose
We
all
did.
I'm saying is just protect your neck a little bit as an autistic person.
Hmm.
It's very easy to rush into as much as we've just said, oh, we should spend more time with humans. It like it can be just be careful. Just be
Yeah.
careful is all I'm saying. Just gather a bit more data, run the algorithm in your head a few more times, you know what I mean? Don't go paranoid over it. And I'm not trying to make people more anxious or more paranoid, and if I am, I apologize. But I was I sort of took an inventory of like almost every friendship I had while I was in the office a lot this week and had a bit of downtime. You just sit there in your own head, and this is the kind of stuff that I was thinking about. But then a lot of the time, I know I'm completely contradicting myself, but a lot of the time I did rush into most relationships. And you get a lot of good people out of that as
Yeah.
well, but all of them are on the spectrum.
That's kind of the bit, isn't it, Damien?
Yeah.
The people who are left.
Anyway, the next, what was the name of the segment that I said before?
Spectrum.
Spectrum.
This is where you can in post, edit in, and we can pretend that we remembered.
Yes, exactly.
I got
Anyway,
you,
so
boo.
for the next segment, I'll have something a bit more, um, I'll have like videos and, I'll get someone, no, like I'll find something off the internet that someone's saying, and then we can both watch it and be like, oh, what do we think about this? Blah, blah, that
I
kind of
like
thing.
that. And as well, I mean, I think we should like switch around and you should
Oh, yeah,
speak
yeah.
about your special interests. I can't wait to tune in for 45 minutes of chat about the Beatles.
Oh, no, we're going more fucking, it's not, that's too broad. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
okay.
The Beatles in Hamburg. We'll start with that. We'll start. Actually, let's start at Walton Fate. We'll start John. The first one will be when the day John and Paul met. We'll go through the whole day,
Okay, but this
and
isn't
then
that. This isn't that. So we can
no,
come
we're
back to that
turning
at a
the
different
podcast
time.
will eventually become a Beatles podcast. That's what's happening.
Yay!
Look, they're right
Um,
there. Look.
I saw them. I was going to comment. Um, so I just love how much you love them. I really do because I know how much I love things the way that you love them, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, man. I
Um,
never get sick of it.
so Special Interest Corner is actually going to start because I learnt something this week that I talked about on the last episode, and I want to talk about it more.
I
Do you
learned
remember
something
in the
today.
last? Yeah, I did. Do you remember in the last episode how I was asking you if you ever had like short-term special interests?
Yeah, and I
Yeah,
didn't
so
really.
no. Well, that's okay because I'm here to tell you that that's because I have the TISM and the ADHD hat on at the same time. And so what I was talking about was special interests and then hyperfixations
Oh.
because that's a hyperfixation,
Oh,
which
that's what that
I
is. Right.
that's what that is. And I
Okay.
did know that. But I didn't when I'm talking about it, I'm like, my short-term special interests. Is your
Right.
microphone okay?
Yeah, I just the arm made a really loud sound.
Oh no.
Sorry.
Um, so I wanted to highlight the difference between special interests and hyperfixations.
Right.
So special interests are your long-term things that you've been into forever, like you and football or test cricket.
Hmm.
And then your hyperfixations are your shorter, so like temporary, short-lived, like quick intensity. So like
Ooh,
what I
like the Tower
found,
Burger at KFC.
like the Tower Burger at KFC, right?
That's one. I got one. Yeah.
You might hyperfixate on the Tower Burger, but you only have the Tower Burger for a limited time.
Yeah.
And now that you've said that, I'm going to be really sad later when I want a Tower Burger in about
I
an hour from
fucking
now when
know,
I'm
right?
thinking
It should
about
be on the menu
dinner.
full time.
It
Anyway.
should be. So, but okay, that's a really easy way to. I can't tell, sorry. My wife is in the room with us right now. You can't see her, but she's here.
Yeah. Is
She
she
can't hear
laughing?
you. She can't
Right.
hear you. She can only hear me. So,
Hmm.
but she's laughing, but she has headphones on, half on. She's got one headphone on, one off. So I don't know if she's laughing at what's in her fast little device, scrolly, scrolly, or if she's laughing at this fantastic comedy bit. Because, Damien, I think you've unlocked the best way to describe this to an NT,
Right.
the Tower Burger. You got the
Yes.
Tower Burger and you've got the Zinger Burger. Zinger Burger is always there. For
Yeah.
me, the Zinger Burger is Lord of the Rings. For you,
Right.
the Zinger Burger is the Beatles
Hmm.
or Test Cricket.
Hmm.
And then you've got the Tower Burger, which might be something like, I'm trying to think of like something I currently am hyperfixated on, but at the moment I'm not super hyperfixated on anything aside from knitting. But I think knitting is going to turn into a long-term special interest. But it isn't yet because it's brand new to me. And so I'm really locked in on it. And so
Right.
I just want to do as much of it as I can as quickly as I can
Right.
and consume as much of it as I can as quickly as I can. But the Tower Burger knitting may go off the menu. It might get moved to a permanent menu item, but it also might go away and not come back again.
Mm.
Sometimes it might go away and then in 12 months' time, come back again. So, you get
Okay.
this is like when I watch Stranger Things and I get really into Stranger Things to the point that I get a tattoo and then I kind of get over it. And maybe I don't think about Stranger Things anymore. But then maybe in 12 months' time, be like, oh, I should get back into Stranger Things. And then I'll do a rewatch. For like 6 months, I'll start dressing like Steve Harrington again.
I have one at the moment.
Yes,
I
tell me.
well, because there was a teaser trailer for Batman 2.
Oh, is this
The
R. Patz's Batman?
Yes.
Batman.
Yeah. And
I
so
am Batman.
like last night I spent 2.5 hours watching YouTube videos about the making of the first film, the making of the Penguin, why it's taken so long
Hmm.
for the second one to come out, what's rumored to be in the second one. But that was it. And then when I woke up this
Yeah.
morning, like all that knowledge is in here. But when I woke up this morning, did not think about Batman 2 at all.
Yeah,
I really
exactly, right?
like the
So,
first film and I bought it on Blu-ray, like it's in my collection. But that's mainly more because Batman, and to a lesser extent comics, but Batman in particular has always been my guy. Um,
yeah,
and so that is a special interest. Like Batman is 1000% a special interest.
yeah. So
Uh,
I
but this,
actually
but
I did some.
sorry, I
Mhm.
was
No,
going to
no.
say this particular bit of Batman-ness has been a hyperfixation for a day, but I'm already over
Yeah,
it.
yeah. And that's the difference, right? So the special interest is Batman. The locked in on Batman 2 is the Tower Burger. My metaphors have gone all over the
No,
place. But
no,
I
I
do
still think
actually
it.
have
Yeah,
I have some information on both so that we can see the difference between special interests, which are common in autism, and hyperfixations, which are common in ADHD. And I have a UDHD. So
right.
your duration for your special interests is going to be long, years, lifetime, year forever things, months. The duration on a hyperfixation is temporary. So you get into it really hard, really fast, but it tempers out. So this is, you didn't know me when this happened, but I said I dressed like Steve Harrington. That's a lie. I dressed like Eddie Munson for about 6 months. Chris that we work with can confirm this. I cut my hair exactly the same. I dyed it brown. I wore it
Mm.
curly all the time. I wore a Hellfire Club t-shirt everywhere. I got a tattoo. But I don't do that anymore. I'm not just pulling my shirt down for no reason. I'm pulling my shirt down because I have the word hellfire tattooed right there.
Yeah, wow.
Um, yeah, I got really hard into it really fast, but it didn't last. Your function for your special interests, and this was really interesting. So, the function of a special interest is a grounding, calming mechanism that builds deep expertise and self-worth. How great. But for hyperfixations, it's dopamine seeking. So, you're just trying to get good hits, the good hits of the good brain juice. Um, so energy for a special interest is a nourishing energy. It encourages you to metabolize the interest through creation, research, or sharing. The energy for a hyperfixation is consuming and frantic, where you just want to consume as much of it as you can, as quickly as you can.
Okay.
Um, yeah. So, like, an example for a hyperfixation would be spending an entire kind of period of time researching something, really wanting to do it, and then kind of never doing it. Um, I fear I'm about to have a hyperfixation on dyeing my own yarn because I'm really locked in on the how am I going to do it? How's it going to happen? But I don't see it sticking long term. I
Right.
just can't imagine I'm going to start dyeing my own yarn. But for, your kind of example of your special interest when it comes to autism is going to be like Damien has a lifelong interest in the Beatles and can tell you very specific bits of information. So I actually did some book learning to talk about a special interest. The thing is, though, and this is very ADHD of me, I locked in on doing the book learning and forgot to pick a special interest because I got a bit excited to share my book learning about the difference between special interests and hyperfixations.
Well, I think it's a good place to start. It's like defining which is which.
Well, that's it, right? Because I might want to talk about a hyperfixation. I mean, I really want to dye yarn. I've gotten really into the mechanics of it and learning about different fiber dyes and how you dye different types of yarn dependent on the product, like the base of it. So if you're dyeing wool compared to if you're dyeing cotton, compared to if you're dyeing silk fibers,
Hmm.
because everything absorbs differently. And the acidic dye, see, this is what I'm talking about, right? I did a bunch of research about it. I have actually got some yarn to dye, but I don't have any of the supplies to dye it. And the question is, will I stick with it long enough to actually buy the supplies to dye the yarn? Watch this space.
Yeah. What is the um what are the benefits of dyeing your own yarn rather than just buying yarn?
Oh, because I can make it look however I want to. So I did actually dye some yarn last year. I think it was last year, might have been the year before, for a particular beanie that I wanted to make, that I wanted to only have the colors of the lesbian flag. And so I dyed my own yarn. And I did it in my bathtub with like just dye you can buy at the supermarket. It was super easy, it was super fun. And I got the product that I wanted, and I was able to make the project that I wanted.
Yeah, right.
Doing it on the scale that I have purchased yarn to do it on that scale is like a one. Why? I don't have a project in mind. I just want to do it. I
Hmm.
just want the dopamine from doing the thing. What I'm going to actually then do with the thing, it could just sit in a tub for 6 years.
Right.
But I've done that. I've hyperfixated on a lot of like crafts, a lot of hobbies where I've gotten really into them and then given up.
Hmm.
Embroidery. I got hard into embroidery. I've got a whole embroidery shelf. I have never finished an embroidery ever.
Oh, really?
No, I have bought clothes that I'm like, I'm going to fix this by embroidering on it. Am I? I don't even know that I know how to do it that well. I could tell you all about the thread you should use and I could tell you about DMC colors, but can I actually do it? No.
But you make a lot of stuff. You're always making stuff. You're always knitting and
Yeah, knit and crochet are like long term for me, like special interests.
hmm.
Things that I am deeply interested in understanding down. Like knitting is new to me, I'm still learning, but like crochet, I understand the mechanics behind it and I understand exactly how each stitch forms with the knots that you're tying essentially as you move through the project.
Hmm.
And that's what I'm trying to do with knitting now is learn how like how am I making this happen? Like the magic of it. And I feel very like committed to it and very like with myself when I do it, like an extension of
Hmm.
myself, if
Hmm.
that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Um, but things like resin craft. Oh, I got really into resin craft for about 3 months. Found out afterwards that I was 100% poisoning myself because I never wore a mask.
Right.
That was great. Nail art helped Chelsea get really into that for a while.
Yeah.
And by a while, I mean like maybe 2 months, but I will get into things hardcore. And so I buy all of the stuff.
Mm.
And if you don't know, the reason that my camera is blurred when we record is because I live in a chaos department. It is a one bedroom house. It's a one bedroom unit um, that contains 32 years worth of hyperfixations. And I need to stop. I can't stop. I will never stop, but I need to stop. Does Kelly have anything like, does Kelly do that? Does she cycle through things like that quickly? She's
Um,
medicated, maybe not.
no. Cal's hyperfixation the whole time that we've been together is her phone. She's
But does what
always
she
on her phone.
consume on it change?
No, it's TikTok,
Hmm.
and then TikToks and games. The games are always like super fast paced, like South Korean, Japanese, like you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I
jewels
do.
flying around everywhere and lolly. Like I have ne I would
The
consider myself.
haptics, Damien, it's the haptics.
I would consider myself a gamer. When I look at her phone, I'm like, I have no fucking idea what's happening there. Do you know what I mean? There's no crossover between the games that we play. Like her, she's so
Yeah.
mobile phone game fired. The only thing I recognize is she's got a RuPaul Drag Race game where she like has to like earn money to buy clothes and then like dress up the
Oh,
queens and
like
parade them and stuff.
Kim K. Hollywood, but for drag queens.
Yeah, but
I
in
like it.
particular,
I like that.
Ru's thing. And I
Yeah,
think all the queens that were on RuPaul is in the game as well, and blah blah. We used to
that's
watch
great.
that together, and then I got so into it that I ruined the experience of us watching it together. Something that
So you like turned it into a special interest.
our one of the first things I bonded with our friend Zach over was that Zach had gone through the same experience with their partner, that their partner had got them into drag race, and that they got, because we both come from sport backgrounds. So we were like, and we're autistic. So we're immediately like, we pick one person, and that's the one person we like, and we barrack for them the whole time. We're not, neither of us were there for the drama or for the tea or any of that shit. We're just like, I want Jinx Monsoon to win, and if she doesn't win, this thing's fucked, and I don't want anything to do with it. Jinx Monsoon did win because she's the best queen of all time. Anyway,
I don't
no,
watch Drag Race, so it is
no
very lost on
callbacks.
me.
Come at me in the comments. Drop your raggedy ass queens in there, man. Jinx is the one. Um,
Something just possessed you, and I've never seen it possess you before because I don't partake in the RuPaul conversation because I don't watch Drag Race.
yeah,
It isn't I mean, I'm so queer. I mean, I just am. I don't think I can hide it. My head, front of my head is purple and the back of it's a fucking mullet. Like we're party in the front, we're party in the back. We're from Portland. Um, we're all party. I just don't get it. I don't particularly love RuPaul, which I think is the big
no,
issue.
yeah. We've stopped watching. Like, I kind of make a joke about me and Cal. Like, I ruined it for Cal. I kind of did. I think a few times where I got really worked up about. But it was pattern recognition of one of the judges, Michelle in particular, just being an absolute. I was about to drop the. I was about to
The
drop the
B
C
word.
bomb
Ooh, a
on
C
YouTube,
bomb.
which is not
We
a good
can't C
idea.
bomb on the podcast.
Not on YouTube, no. She's just an awful human being, and whether she was playing that part or that's actually who she is, Michelle Visage, just toxic woman, and over time she got more and more of a say in the show. So she went from, she was Rue's mate, and then she came on as a
Hmm.
judge. She wasn't even on the show initially, and then she was a guest judge. Then she became a regular judge. Then she was a junior producer, then associate producer, and then executive producer. Then she was hosting the Australian version. And the more she got involved in this show, the well, first and foremost, the more it became very American and very reality TV. It was always reality TV, but it became hyper reality TV of like it doesn't matter whose feelings get hurt, it doesn't matter how the girls are being treated. As long as we're making content and keeping eyeballs on the show, that's all that matters. And there were incidents where um, girls had like proper breakdowns because of the way Michelle spoke to them about the way that they looked and blah blah. Just I kept saying like this show, I want to. I'm a straight fat old white dude, but I'm like this show should just be 20 minutes of the girls talking to each other about their life experiences, and then a 20-minute pageant, and
That sounds
that's
like
it,
fun.
right? We don't need any of the fucking drama. We don't need bitches on there. And that was the other thing as well. They started early on. There'd be a lot of camaraderie and sisterhood among everybody on the show, and then as time went on, you would get people who would come on, and it was more like Survivor, where there'd always be one or two people who are like, "I'm here to fucking play the game, bitch, and I don't give a fuck." Blah blah blah. You know what I mean? And you're like, no
I love
one's,
Survivor. I get it.
yeah, but like, I'm not here for that shit. If I wanted to
Yeah.
watch that shit, I'd watch Real Housewives of LA, whatever the fuck. Like, if I wanted to see people throwing fucking wine in each other's face, I'd watch Real Housewives. But
Well,
I'm
that's
here
what that
because I
is.
wanted to. I actually learned more about drag and trans rights issues and stuff from that show than anything else. I think I
Yeah.
became much more of an ally through watching that show than if I hadn't. So, in that way, it's a good show. I think it's important that it exists, but there were small things about it so we kind of stopped watching the American one and we're like, oh, we'll just watch the English one because it was much nicer. Like the
Yeah.
contestants were much nicer to each other. And then we just dropped off completely. We're barely watching anything together anymore. Me and Kel. So anyway, she's on her phone. She does that, and then on TikTok, she's watching uh, third and fourth wave feminist philosophers and
I
dog
like that. Yeah.
videos.
Okay, fair. Yeah, no, I get that. Um, while we were talking about that, I looked at the time and I thought to myself, oh, it's almost time for dinner. And when it's time for dinner, that means I'm going to unplug my computer from the power because that gave me the exact point that I want to highlight between a hyperfixation and a special interest. A couple of years ago, I really wanted to play The Sims. I really liked playing The Sims. Famously, I bought a $3,000 gaming computer setup that I don't know how to use in full at all. All I know how to do is plug it in. It doesn't have speakers that connect. I don't know what any of the things mean. Um, and I played The Sims for 2 weeks. And then now I just unplug it at the wall when I'm done recording the podcast.
Oh, don't do that. You need to turn it off through the operating system first, please.
No, I just unplug it at the wall.
No, I don't. That's bad.
No,
That's genuinely bad for
I truly,
computers. No.
I yank the cord, because I don't use it though. But I
It doesn't
invested
matter.
no, but that's the point I'm trying to make, Damien, right? The hyperfixation is I invested my whole self into it and enjoyed it for 2 weeks, and now I unplug it at the wall.
That's like I really wanted to learn how to drive a car, so I bought a car, but then I got over it. So now when I park the car, I just smash it into a pole. I don't use the brake. I just smash it
Hey,
into a wall.
speaking of, this is let's just put an asterisk here and call this friendship corner where I
Yeah,
tell you something as my friend.
yeah.
So I have been driving the car.
Oh, great.
It's been great. I love it so much.
Yeah, it's a really good car to learn it. I mean, I learned that car. My
Yeah,
sister
but
learned that
also
car.
since Since this is going out to the airwaves, I can tell a lovely story about my wife. So she has been, I don't know, maybe not handling me learning to drive particularly well.
Right.
Um, and so we went last weekend and did some driving. And she was like, I'm not ready for you to drive on the road with me in the car yet. So I was like, that's fine, babe. Don't worry about it. We'll just go round and round and round in this car park. And she was like, okay. But practice coming in and out of the car park because the car park we were in Glenroy, you kind of
Oh,
have to
where in Glenroy?
go in some weird back street where it's where we like to take the bottles to be recycled because it's always empty.
Okay.
No one ever goes there to drop off their recycling, so it's a good empty car park. And so you come out of the car park and then you can just drive straight back into the car park. Just come out on one side and straight back in on the other side. And so she had me do that a few times. And then I decided upon exiting the car park to just indicate the other way and just drove right on down onto the main road and then turned and then parked. And it was fine. No one got hurt.
Yeah, that's the best way to do
I can drive now. Well,
it.
sensitive brakes in that car. Jude, which is what I have named the car, for everyone listening at home or watching at home or watching on the go, listening on the go. Perhaps it's your work day. Damian, very pivotal in my obtainment of this car. And so it is named Jude, partially for the Beatles, partially for Jude Bellingham, who didn't win a World Cup, but that's fine.
Oh, well.
Oh well.
Three
Um,
lives of the shit. You lost again.
Anyway, the women have won since then, so it doesn't matter.
I have no
What
problem with
does
the
matter,
English women's team.
Jude has very sensitive brakes.
He does. I replaced the brake pads one service before I sold it to you. So, um, yeah,
Very, very sensitive brakes.
yeah. And then we barely drove it, which is also
Yeah.
why you
I
have
mean,
it
it's
now.
fantastic. This is not a complaint at all. I'm so glad that I feel very secure that the brakes will definitely stop the vehicle. But
Yes.
also, you do have to be very sensitive with the braking,
Yeah. The
which is
rear
fun to learn.
brake pad. Now we're just talking about. This is not for the
That's why I
podcast.
put an
The
asterisk. I was like, this is
yeah,
friendship corner.
yeah. Yeah, if you're not interested in what's happening in our personal
Just
lives, you,
skip
you can,
this.
but
Just
yeah.
skip this section.
The rear brake pads probably are going to need replacement in the next 6 to 12 months,
Okay, cool.
but the front ones have been replaced.
Yeah. So yeah, that was my friendship corner story is that I drive now. Not very far. Um, I have been like reversing in and out of the driveway by
That's how I
myself.
started, mate. That's how I. That's a. This is how everybody starts driving, and
Yeah, I
it's
just reverse in and
terrifying.
out of the driveway.
But once you do it, like for decades, I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this, and then it was the same thing. Me and Cal tried a few times to do it, and we just could not. She couldn't handle me driving. I couldn't handle her.
Yeah.
This where she'd like go on the
No,
door
Chelsea had her
handle.
hand fully hovering over the handbrake. Like, mate, I'm fine. We're in a car park.
That would
What's
legitimately
gonna
freak me out.
happen?
I wouldn't be able to drive with someone doing that because I'd be
No.
looking down all the time. I'd smash into something. It's
So
actually a
friend
bit
of the
dangerous. That
show,
shouldn't be. That shouldn't be happening.
friend of the show, Mon, my best friend, and obviously the best, biggest, and most important person to name drop at any time, Mon is going to help me with some driving because she's not afraid of me.
Well, mate, this is so interesting. I did the same thing. So I tried to do it with Cal for a bit, and then eventually I was like, this is fucked. So I went to my friend Lucas, who was the best man at my wedding.
Shout out, Lucas. Big up, mate.
Lucas,
Love ya.
he'll never watch this.
You
Or
don't
if he
know.
does, hey man. We did. I came to him hat in hand. Was like, listen, man, I need someone to teach me how to drive. I just want to do a few like drive what you're doing with Chelsea, just a few car park drives, and then get out on the road and do 4 or 5 of those, and then I'll go off and do proper lessons. I just want to be able to
This is like my
actually,
prep work for lessons. I
yes,
can't
I
do lessons until I feel
if I
comfortable.
don't know, I mean, you could, but and I think most instructors expect to be able to that you won't be able to drive a car at all. But I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to be like this 45-year-old man. It's like, where's the brake? Um, so yeah, and then it became a thing that I was really enjoying. Although I think Lucas was fine. There was a couple of times where he's like, "You're a little close to the gutter, man," but he wouldn't say anything. Like not at any point when I was driving, because like once you get to the point where you've got enough confidence to drive, you're
Yeah.
fine as long as you're paying attention to everything that's going around and not being a hoon, you're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
Especially in an automatic because it's just a you know brake and accelerator. And then I just
Anyway, so
became
that's
obsessed with driving. Like I love driving now.
yeah, so that's been Friendship Corner. Also just an update on me and my path to driving.
It's great, man. Did I was I gonna hook you up with my driving instructor,
I
Matt?
fully follow your driving instructor on Instagram.
Yeah, he's the best.
Yeah, I'm just waiting a little bit until I'm just a little bit more confident, and then I will go and do some lessons.
Um,
I just don't want, I can't get into the car with someone whose job is teach to drive and be like, and I'm an idiot, which is exactly the experience that you
yeah, I
have.
know,
I
but
feel
he
like
won't
it's
make you
because
feel
we're
like that at
older,
all. Yes, it is,
but I
100%.
do feel like because we're older, there's this expectation that we already know how to do the thing, and not knowing how to do the thing feels shameful
Which
suddenly.
is crazy, right? Because that's what an instructor is for. But
Yeah, that's what we're paying them to
imagine
do.
if you walked into a scuba diving lesson, you know what I mean? And you're like, well, actually, I've been scuba diving on my own for the last 3 months to learn how to like that's the craziness of our brain. I'm actually a grade 4 scuba diver, but I didn't mean to be. I taught myself how to do it because I was worried that I looked like an idiot in this lesson. And then the teacher would
But
be like,
that's
"Well,
it.
why are you here?"
That's it. That's exactly it.
Or walking into a Japanese your first Japanese class and being, "Well, I have like, does anyone here speak Japanese?" Yeah, I've been teaching myself Japanese for 7 years. I actually signed up. I actually signed up for this class 7 years ago, but I was worried that I would, they didn't know anything,
But
and I
the
don't want to
worst
look
part
like an
is
idiot. So I actually moved to Japan, and now I'm
the
fluent.
worst.
But I also didn't want to let you down and not do the class, so I've moved back to Australia for 3 months to do the beginners course.
No, but super quickly though, the worst part is I won't even, if I was in that class, I wouldn't even put my hand up and be like, I guess I speak a little Japanese. No, I'm not saying a word. I'm flying
Yeah.
under the radar, and then I'm just going to be the best at speaking Japanese.
You know who puts their hand up?
Yeah.
Neurotypicals.
Yeah, NTs. But NTs don't even learn
But
it
they
before
don't
they
know
go, do
anything.
they?
They
They
don't
don't learn it
they
before
don't
they go.
care. They don't
No.
care either. They'll do what yeah, of course I know how to fly a plane. You know what I mean? This is the kind of shit that these people say. They're crazy. We're meant to
Crazy.
be we're the crazy ones. I mean, the example I just gave would prove that autistic people are very crazy.
No, Damien, it's not craziness, it's preparedness. We're like the scouts.
I don't know if I don't know if preparing for the first lesson on how to learn something is I mean that's a little
No, it's
insane.
no, wrong.
It's
It's normal.
it's a little insane.
Anyway, thanks for coming to our podcast.
Yeah, thanks for coming. Thanks for coming
Thanks.
to our podcast.
Thanks for coming to our podcast slash YouTube video.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, it's
people
also
are
a
watching. A lot more people listen than watch. But if hey, listen, if you're listening to this podcast and you're like, hey, I want to see what Damo and AJ look like, you can go on YouTube. Do you still like us podcast on YouTube? We're the first thing that comes up because nothing else on earth has been named that. So we're the first thing that comes up. And yeah, look, I will say this: the sound on pretty much all of our videos has been pretty good. So
okay.
now we're slowly starting to get. I mean, it always could be better. Always could be better. They don't call me
You're
the
gonna make
Brian
you,
Wilson of podcasting for nothing.
and they are calling you that.
I am calling myself that,
Okay, so we can't say
but
they are
not in
calling
the
you that
sense,
then. Well, I
but
guess
not in the sense of like being a generational genius. Just in the sense of being so meticulous about things that you end up having a nervous breakdown over it. That
Yeah.
that's what I mean. So only one half of Brian Wilson, not the good half.
No, you're a generational talent, Damien. It's just yet to be discovered.
I don't know what that talent is, but I'm sure there's something.
No, Damien, it's literally the podcast.
Oh, well, bloody watch it. Someone watch it. Make me famous. God damn. I just want to be famous.
I don't want to be famous. I just want to do something for a living that's kind of funky.
You know what I want? I want to be at the same level of this guy. And I love these guys. There's a Japanese food channel called Tabby Eats. If you want to go watch
Hmm.
a great YouTube channel, these guys, Tabby Eats, they just go out in Japan. They live in Tokyo. They just go out and they'll find one place, or maybe there's a street market, and they just try street food. That's it. But
That's
they're this
delicious.
beautiful little couple, and they're so sweet. And I just love them. But that's what they do full time. But then they're not huge, but they get like
Yeah,
anywhere between 10 to 100,000 views
yeah,
uh, on their videos. Imagine that.
that'd be great. Anyway, like and subscribe. Please leave comments. It's great for the algorithm, apparently.
Leave
I
a
don't know anything
comment,
about
like
that.
and subscribe. No, you're 100% correct. All that stuff, any kind of engagement. Click the bell for notifications so when a new video comes up, you'll
Bing,
see it straight away. Hopefully, I've put little things
bing.
in here in the editing
Could
suite.
you, can you make it do it so that whenever I go bing, it appears?
Oh, yeah, I'll try.
Bing. Put it in my
Stop it.
hand right now. Put it in my hand right now. You ready? Bing.
Okay, we'll see how we go.
Otherwise, my chubby little fingers are just kind of breaking out of the blur for no reason.
Blah.
Blur.
That'll
Okay,
be an
Damien,
upcoming special interest.
blur.
Yeah, 100%.
That's great because I shared a fantastic meme with you about blur the other day, so we can share that meme on a podcast level.
Did you?
It was on Instagram.
Oh, I haven't looked yet.
Okay, that's okay. Should we end the podcast
Yes,
with
we
our
should.
famous way of ending the podcast?
Okay, here we go. We'll see. Okay. One, two, three.
Do you
Do you
still
still
like?
like
No,
us? Oh no, it's gonna work. It was
no,
gonna
it wasn't.
work.
No, it wasn't.
Okay, let's
I
go
also
again.
have headphones in. One, two, three. Do
Do
you
you
still
still
like
like
us?
us? That was perfect. Why are you shaking your
It's
head
out of
for?
time.
I don't think it is. I think
It is
you're
out of
out of
time.
time.
You're out of time.
I'm putting the whole system on trial.
I think we're out of time.
All right. Bye, everyone. Thanks
Bye.
for listening.